Here we are at our next stop. I won't even try to say the name. It's French, and I took German in high school, so I'll just slaughter it trying to babble that out. But it's like a lovely little cottage here on a large estate. It has been an extremely hot summer this year in the Northwest. They had temperatures up to 117 here in Oregon. There we are up there in the parking area. And we have the back view of the chalet. At least that's what it reminds me of. Very nice. Something you expect to see maybe in England. Very, very picturesque. A very nice setting for a winery and a beautiful building for wine tasting. The architecture for the chalet is really quite fascinating. Really gives you a feel of the old style. All the roses and bushes, I think they're chrysanthemums, are in bloom, and the air is just filled with a beautiful fragrance around the building. You can see they're set up quite well for entertaining here. I peeked into the windows to look inside the chateau, and it is beautiful inside. I can't wait to show you guys. Right now they're closed. The owners are off running errands, but they were gracious enough to allow me to come up here still and park and wait for their return. And then we will go through the wine tasting. I look forward to tasting their wines. I can imagine they must taste as beautiful as the building and its architecture up here on this mound overlooking valleys and mountains with vineyards all around us. Here's their front patio, an outside fireplace, and there's the name of their winery, and their symbol looks like an owl of some type. But I tried saying that name on Google to find the road here, and Google came up with everything but that. But I can see if they ever change this into a bed and breakfast or add something like that to this place, I would definitely want to stay a night here. This is fantastic. Once the wine tasting room opened, I was able to see the beautiful interior of the home. It was of a spacious, open, warm, inviting decor and design. Ben, a military doctor that I believe still practices, and his wife Michelle, who I was told was the designer of the home, greeted me and were proud to tell me about their wines and plans for their growing winery before moving out onto the front porch for the wine tasting. But I'll have the doctor of winemaking tell you about the wines they produce here.
Hello there, I'm Ben Miller. We have La Chouette Vineyard and Winery, and we have a beautiful 90 acres here in the Willamette Valley, and we've been at this for, our first grapes went in the ground in 2008 or 7, and we've been making wine since 2013. We have 3 varietals right now, actually 4, but only wine from 3 of them. We have Pinot Noir, 3 different clones of Pinot Noir. We have Pinot Gris, and we have Chardonnay. And last fall we planted Sauvignon Blanc. So we have plans to plant 4 more acres in the fall. Syrah, Gamay Noir, Viognier, and Gruner. So we'll have all sorts of different varietals to try out here in the coming years. We have a beautiful place here. We are hoping to start to break ground for a wine tasting room in this coming spring. We've gotten to 15 acres of grapes, and that will allow us to do that legally. We've been in Harvest Host for about 8 months, and we've met all sorts of fascinating people with their stories and their travels and on and on. So it's been fun to see and get to know people who travel with interesting vans and trailers, hear their stories, and we enjoy that. So that's our story. We also have all sorts of interesting stuff on the farm. We have Black Angus cattle, dairy goats. My wife Michelle makes wonderful goat's cheese. We are dog friendly. We have 2 dogs ourselves, and I know people like to bring their pets to the vineyard. So that's our story, and we hope to see you in the near future. Thank you so much. Bye. Cheers.
After the wine tasting on the patio and purchasing a bottle, I went out to the girls in the RV and we went for a walk up the hill behind us through the vineyards to enjoy the views of the valley below. It was a beautiful day. Here I am on the hillside vineyard, just directly behind the winery tasting room. You see our rig down there in the shade of that huge old oak. There's oaks everywhere, huge, massive trees, acorns dropping like rain. It's fascinating. Beautiful up here too. Beautiful views. And here you can see the tubs all ready for the next harvest. All ready. Starting at the top, working your way down to the winery. And there out there you can see the valleys and meadows of the Willamette Valley. See if we can get a little closer. This is a very fertile valley through Oregon. Ones that the pioneers were heading for on the Oregon Trail. The vines here are just laden with the grapes, nearing harvest time. Looks like quite a bounty. Oh, these big oaks give such a thankful coolness. Large shaded patches out of the hot sun today. But you can see, as far up as I can look, these rows are laden with juicy wine grapes, ready to become a delicious glass of some vintage type of wine. Well, it's a bit of a overcast morning here. Sun peeking through. I can hear some thunder in the background, and we're having just very light rain right now. You hear that? Yeah, could get worse before it gets better. But looking west towards the coast over the mountains, I see blue sky. So I'm thinking this is just going to pass over, hopefully today, and get back to the nice sunny weather. We're supposed to have upper 70s, possibly 80, they're saying. So that's kind of really unusual, I think, for this late in the month of September. So anyway, we're on our way next to our 7th winery, and each one just seems to keep getting better. I hope you're finding this channel worth watching. I try to present interesting different things for those that find my channel and watch my videos, hopefully all the way through. I know people nowadays would prefer what we used to call, when I was in college, cliff notes, you know, just the highlights, forget all the rest. Well, that cuts a heck of a lot out of the overall story of where we are and how we travel. So we've had our cup of coffee. The girls have had their breakfast, roamed around, exercised their legs. Now they're just kind of laid back on the bed, waiting to move on to the next winery and get out and explore that. So without further ado, let's hit the road.